Alright, welcome back. So now we're ready to retouch our eyebrows. I'm going to first duplicate my eyelash layer. So Command J duplicates that layer. Now I need to go in and I need to clean up all these little hairs that we're seeing. And I'm going to do that using my clone tool. Now, we've learned how to use the clone tool when we were cleaning up the whites of the eyes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a selection on her skin. Click using the Alt key to select that area, and then I paint in over the area I want it to be at. Now, what we're seeing here is it doesn't look like it's doing anything. That's because I need to change my opacity back to a larger opacity. At 17%, we're not going to see a huge difference. I want it to completely replace what it is I'm doing, so I'm going to actually put that at 100%, and flow should be set at 100% as well. So now I click to select the area, and then I start replacing with my clone brush. One thing that you'll want to also pay attention to is the size of your brush. How large, how small is your brush? What kind of brush are you using? Okay, I want to use my basic brushes. So I'm going to select the basic brushes, click OK. Now I'm back to the regular brushes. I prefer a soft brush when I'm cloning, so I'm going to use probably about a size 13 soft brush. I'm going to hold down my Alt key to select an area, and then I'm going to go in and I am going to paint out. You're just cleaning up, you're sculpting the eyebrows using the clone tool. Okay? Now, one thing that people tend to have a problem with when they're doing eyebrows is making them match. I know I have that problem. I can get one side to look great on my subject, and then I try to replicate it on the other one, and it doesn't seem to work out. So I'm going to finish up this here. Notice I am continuously making a selection. I don't just make a selection once and then try to use that same selection the entire time. Okay, I'm happy with the way the outer part of her eyebrow is looking, so now I'm going to begin working on the inside of this eyebrow. I'm just sculpting it using the clone tool. So undo. Again, continuously making new selections using the Alt key. So you click and hold down the Alt key to make a selection on what area you're going to use to clone out of. Okay. It's important that you move around, that you don't use the same part. You're going to get things that don't look normal, and you're going to have to go back and fix them. Okay, that's a part of it. Right here she's got an area that needs a little bit more work, so it's a little trickier. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clone out this little skin imperfection that she's got right here. Get rid of this one freckle right here. It's a little bit distracting as well. Remember, if you're not doing a glamour retouch, you don't want to change the way your subject looks too much. Okay, so you have to know ahead of time what your goal is. What do you want the outcome to be? Because if you're just doing a regular portrait, they came to you to just, you know, capture who they are. The fashion industry for commercial work, that's a different focus. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my pen tool, And I'm just going to do a quick selection of her current eyebrow. Okay, we're just going for the shape here. That's the main thing. So I've got that. Come down. Come up. Just arch it just a little bit. Come over. Arch. Come in. Again, I'm going for the general shape. Okay. Alright, so it's a shape. There we go. That can be filled. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to transform it. Command T. Okay. Then I'm going to right click on that. I'm going to flip that horizontal. And then I'm just going to move it over here. And look, it gives me a general guideline that I can use when I am retouching her eyebrow on this side. Can angle it down just a little bit to take into consideration how her head is being held. So I'm going to apply my transformation there. Okay, I'm going to come back to my layer. I'm going to select my clone tool. Remember, a lot of basic selections. And you're just working around. The reason I made the shape was to give me a template from which to work on. I'm going to finish this up and then we will take a look at what the finished product looks like. Again, making lots of little selections. I want this to be as natural looking as possible. Soft edged brush. And this image is a little tricky because of all the different lights and darks that you see. Okay, clean out all the stray hairs here. Now, clean up all the areas down here on the eyelid. I'm going to reduce the opacity here down to about 40% and do some blending here. Clean this little bit up over here. She's got some areas that need to be addressed. And a little bit of hair here on her nose. Alright, and that will conclude everything that we need for her eyebrows. Now I'm going to turn off that shape. I'm going to then zoom out. Okay, and we'll see that her eyebrows now have been cleaned up quite a bit. Now, some of the things you'll notice when we turn that on and off is all those shadows. So I'm going to zoom back in and I'm going to fix some of those areas. So we see a shadow over here on the right that appeared. I'm going to use a lower opacity brush. Fix that. I'm going to lower the opacity of this brush quite a bit. Make it nice and large. Reduce that harsh shadow. Again, making multiple selections with that Alt Option key on that clone. Just lightening this up down here. Almost looked like she had brown eyeshadow on. Okay. There we go. The eyebrows have been cleaned up. There's our final project. Turn it off. Next, we will be looking at retouching the mouth, so lips and teeth.